So, I am starting a day adventure to Orcas Island, Washington, which is in the San Juan Island chain. And I'll talk more about that as we get underway. So, we're just departing the Anacortes Ferry Terminal. So, here we go. So, a little bit of information about the San Juan Island chain. They sit in the Puget Sound or Salis Sea, depending on who you're asking. It consists of, I think, over 100 islands, and then there's some additional rock formations. Most of the islands are uninhabited, and this will be a little bit confusing. There's an island specifically called San Juan, and it has the most number of people with about 7,000. The Washington State Ferry serves the four largest islands, which are Lopez, Shaw, Orcas, and again, San Juan Island. So I'm headed again to Orcas Island, which I think has probably the most amount of recreational opportunities in the San Juan Island chain. So I'm riding the MV Issaquah. It's a 144 car ferry. I'll have to admit I was the last car to board, and if I had missed this ferry I would have had to wait 2.5 hours. So I'll try to point out some of the islands as we go along, but otherwise enjoy the ride. So this first island that we're seeing directly ahead is Cypress Island, and it's actually not part of the San Juan Island chain. This large island is Decanter Island, and the smaller islands on the right are part of a Moran State Park. Several of these marine state parks throughout the San Juan Island chain. If you have a boat or kayak, you can go to them, and some of them even have campgrounds. This is Blakely Island. This ferry that we're about to pass is headed towards Anacortes, Washington. I believe this ferry is coming from San Juan Island itself. We're pulling into Lopez Island now. Okay, all the cars have boarded and deboarded. We're pulling away from Lopez Island. So here's another ferry headed towards Anacortes. I think this one served every island except for San Juan. The island on the left is Shaw Island, and the island on the right is Orcas. So up ahead where that ferry is the Shaw Island Ferry Terminal. And this particular sailing doesn't stop at Shaw Island, proceeds to Orcas Island next. So if you're not paying attention to the schedule, you could end up waiting at Anacortes for quite some time. At this point, I had to return to my vehicle so we could deboard the ferry. So I'll catch you when I get to Moran State Park. Well, I've made it to Moran State Park, and I'm up at the summit of Mount Constitution. It's about 2,400 feet tall, and it has a 53-foot lookout tower, that stone structure up on the left. So it has amazing views up here, so we'll look around, and then I may check out a little bit more of the state park. Alright, we're up at the top, and we're starting this panorama looking southeast. Some of these islands are not part of the San Juan island chain. Alright, I'm up at the top of the lookout tower, and we're looking south. You can see a few more of the islands in the area. In this panorama, we're starting out looking east, and we're moving north. Off in the distance is Canada. So from the top of Mount Constitution, there's several trails, and I've been up here one other time, and I vaguely remember that there was a short hike on one of these trails that you got some views of the west. So I just started hiking on one of them to see what I got. So I took the wrong trail and just got more views of the southeast. That body of water down at the bottom of this hill is a mountain lake. So I moved off the top of Mount Constitution, and there's this little bit of overlook that's looking southwest. A lot of the land at the bottom of this hill is part of Orcas Island. So I moved on from Moran State Park, and this is Eastsound, the main town on the island. Before coming here, I did drive around a little bit, went down to the area of Olga and a few other places that I haven't been to on Orcas Island. So I wanted to check this town out since I've never been here, and then we'll head out. So this is looking at downtown Eastsound from a county dock. I'm back at the Orcas Island Ferry Terminal. I got there a little bit early, so I had plenty of time to look around before the ferry came. So this is going to be a wrap for Orcas Island. I ended up taking the last ferry out of Orcas Island, which left at 9:55 at night. The sun had completely set. So I'm just going to leave you with a couple photos from the ferry ride. I do love riding from the San Juan Islands late at night because there's very few cars. Our trip only had 6 cars on it, and it was a full moon. So I want to thank you for watching this video of Orcas Island.